Big Blue Thumb Productions presents the Podlie Podcast. Here's your hosts, Podlie Bill, Podlie Cliff, and Podlie Paul.
And welcome to Podlie Podcast, episode 99. 99.
Hi.
4 comments. So Marvin's number 1 in there tonight. 2,500 points for Marvin. Jamie's in at second. 1,500. Laura, yes, episode 99. And Jimmy, good evening to you as well. We're short Cliff tonight. As far as I know, he will be joining us.
Wait.
Oh, he's here. He's here. So
we're short Cliff tonight, but usually we have a short Cliff tonight.
Well, we're all short, so we can't really use that joke. So I can see Cliff in the waiting room. He's laughing at that joke right now. So let's bring him in. Nice to join us.
Short Cliff, or do we have a short Cliff?
So we usually have a short Cliff.
Nice of you to join us, Cliff.
I know, right? On the wire as usual. I tell people this all the time. I work on the JIT system, all right? The just-in-time system, the JIT system. That's me.
Well, it's perfect timing. Hello to you, Donna.
Donna.
Marvin says he feels like a kid queuing up for the morning cartoons because he was first one in tonight. So it's like everybody now, all of our viewers are just waiting for 8 o'clock with their fingers on the keyboard to get the first one comment in.
Except for Marvin, it's so funny. I dig the fact that you said that, Marv, because I so remember that as a kid. That was an excellent reference. I love it.
Yeah. Or the same thing. Do you remember trying to phone in for like a radio contest or something? And you knew, they would pre-announce it saying, at 9:05 in the morning, we will be giving away tickets to so-and-so. Make sure to call this number, blah, blah, blah. So you're waiting. And they say, don't call in before 9:05 because we'll clear the board. And
I know they clear the board. That's right. Yeah. That's right. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I remember they used to give away albums or CDs, right?
Yeah.
And quite a famous radio station in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. They used to be the training ground for a lot of DJs and whatnot. So used to get the best and brightest minds coming through there, right? Like fresh, young DJs and stuff.
Freshies.
CHAB. It was CHAB, Moose Jaw. And I tell you what, they used to have these contests or whatever. 7th caller, you get this album, right? But then they clear the bloody boards just before, right? It's like, damn.
And you're on the phone and you're dialing or hitting redial if you can.
Redial if you can.
You hear that busy signal and you go, busy signal, you do it again.
That's awesome.
You got me curious now, Cliff. I want to see if the radio station in St. Paul that I did my practicum in is still operational. I'm curious. I'm checking now.
Could very well be.
I'm checking.
Jimmy Hill says this is our Gretzky episode. Yeah, you're right. It is. It's
99. Oh, boy, Jimmy. Nice of you to show up. Don't know where you've been all this time, mind you, but no dedication.
He was here, Cliff.
Okay, but this time he was. But I mean, the rest of the time, Jimmy. I mean, no dedication. No commitment, right? It's a good thing people don't take me seriously, eh? Man, I tell you.
I take everything you say seriously, Cliff.
You really? I'm screwed.
Yeah.
I'm screwed.
Laura says, but I do remember the cartoon. I don't remember the contest, but I do remember the cartoons. Interesting. So hey guys, a little bit of snow today. How was your week?
It's quite the segue. Winter's here. How the hell are you guys doing? And it wasn't good enough. It was winter and snow. He actually puts up the snow behind him.
Yeah.
Bill, that's punishment, dude. Come on. Okay,
good.
hold
How
on.
was your week?
Not too bad. I'll let Mr. Podlie go first because I'm screaming hot. I got to turn this fan on in front of me. So excuse me and talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, I thought
good, baby. I had the week off. I did absolutely nothing. Stayed in my Ginch. Just got back from Banff. I actually went with my folks and my kids to Banff Friday, Saturday. No, hang on. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and got back today. It was really good. Holy cow, the roads were good. So everybody's by now heard about what's happening in interior BC. But Banff to Edmonton, the roads were good. I mean, we had snow the whole way there, or pardon me, the whole way back here today. But the roads were really good. So beautiful, thick, big flakes of snow today. Yesterday in Banff, there was no snow. There was nothing.
So were you there on Saturday, Podlie?
I was there on Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, you know who else was there Saturday? Walking around Banff? Jeremy and his wife.
Wow.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're celebrating their anniversary. And
no way.
I'll tell you what I tell everybody is that I never Banff. I mean, unless I feel sick, I seldom ever Banff. I mean, if I do feel sick, then I'm going to Banff. But otherwise, I never go to Banff.
Because if you didn't Banff, then you probably can more.
Exactly.
Really? Really?
Oh man. Yeah.
So I will tell you, you guys remember in August I went to Jasper for my daughter's birthday, right?
Right.
And I got this.
Yeah.
Right. My beautiful growler. Well, it's now finished. So Banff. Brand new.
Attaboy, Podlie.
Hang on, I gotta pour one.
Bill, we really need to assemble at his place, dude. If he's going to keep up with these growlers, we need to assemble at his place.
I told him he should be bringing some on Friday evening.
Yeah,
when we
Paul.
start our big podcast.
Well, I didn't say no, I wouldn't.
Nice.
I didn't say no, I wouldn't.
I'll make you a deal. If you bring those growlers, Podlie, we can do 3-part harmony and we can go, my life be like, ooh, wow. I love it.
Wow. So anyway, Cliff, how was
Excuse me while I play bartender.
Yeah, we'll let you pour your beer there. How was your week there, Cliff?
Not bad, man. Not bad. It went rather chop quickly because, I mean, there was a day off in between and nobody was around on Friday. So I got to do some paperwork and whatnot. And my lovely wife was away. So I had to look after the doggo and stuff like that. So, yeah, it went relatively quickly. And then I sat down last night, did a bunch of work on my on like work. Spent probably 3-4 hours doing some work so to set up for today. And and today was a PD day for the Edmonton School Board District. So
that's true.
Yeah, so you put it all together and it was a pretty good week, and it just goes boom, just like that, and it's Monday.
Yeah, it does.
How about you?
My week went by very quick because we were actually closed Thursday, Friday, so we were only open 3 days.
There you go.
So there's 3 busy days. For
Technically,
sure.
we were closed Friday too, but because my work never stops, right? I can work from anywhere, just like most people. So but you're right though. It goes fast, Bill.
Yeah, it does, and as can I. I can work from anywhere as well. But it went by pretty quick. Jamie says she's planning on bringing breakfast on Saturday morning, ingredients that is. So I will forewarn you, Jamie, there is no kitchen there other than a microwave. So
Do you want me to bring a Coleman stove?
I'm not sure what those ingredients will be. You'll have to let us know.
I'll bring the Bunsen burner.
Okay, there you go.
On bringing,
Hey, boys, I don't know if you saw this on social media today, but I got a sneak peek on the official Podlie podcast blanket.
I didn't get a peek. What do you mean?
You didn't get a sneak peek?
I even talked with Laura. Laura, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
I even spoke with her online.
Wow.
I got a sneak peek. It is looking beautiful.
Podlie, is it looking as good as this beautiful drink right here?
Well, it's very funny that you say that. It's very funny that you say that, Cliff, because I asked Laura. Laura's all worried, right? Because she figures that it's not big enough.
Yeah,
it
won't be.
Just so long as it's big enough for Cliff, Bill, and I to cuddle together. So here's the thing.
I'm just going to say that. We got to snuggle.
So here's the thing about that. A few more of what Cliff just demonstrated, and yes, we will be snuggling together with the blanket.
Okay, well, like I said, I did have a quick interaction with Laura online today, but I wasn't privy to the actual preview.
It is looking delightful, delicious, and delectable.
Laura's going to send a sneak peek to us later, Cliff. And I wasn't on Facebook a whole lot today, other than like early this morning. I was too busy to be on. But we look forward to the preview, and we look forward to the big unveiling, Laura.
That's
right. Yeah.
And I look forward to Bill saying unveiling.
Unveiling.
Yeah, because Bill never. See, one of the catch things in your voice that I really like, which you probably don't even know you do. You never say un as in un. It's always on.
Unveiling.
And now that you know it, you'll hear it.
Unveiling.
I'm never going to unhear it.
No, just wait. You'll unhear it too.
The off-veiling.
Hey, while we're chatting and doing the little bit of the intro, can I make a PSA? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people, if you have not booked your hour for this coming Friday, please do so. Guess why? Because it's this coming Friday, our 100th episode.
I know, right? What the hell?
Friday night is booked right up through midnight.
Yeah.
Laura's coming on midnight. It's the early morning hours, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and 6 a.m. We have nobody.
Yeah, come on, you adventurous people.
If you have not yet booked your hour with us in the flesh, please do so. Friday is coming up. Lickety split here, boys and girls. Split here, boys and girls. Split.
Saturday.
And I'm going to be sound, and that's exactly how I'm going to talk about 4 o'clock in the morning.
It's those growlers.
Those growlers. Bloody hell.
So, guys, please do so. Book your time. There's still a few hours available, as Bill and Cliff alluded to, after the witching hour.
The witching.
But I mean, we'll be there. We'll be raring to go. We'd love to have you. So
I like the bloody witching hour. It's rather lovely.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's my PSA for the day.
Oh, thanks. We'll probably do that PSA toward the end of the show as well, just as a reminder.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
And PSA, we're going to do that again.
Yeah.
Right. The PSA and the PSA.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, come on, Nicole. Okay, Nicole says.
PSA. I have to book.
There we go.
This.
Nicole says I have to book that. Yes, Nicole. Yes, indeed, you do.
Pick a time, Nicole.
Unbelievable. Pick a time, anytime.
Yeah, Friday night is booked up until midnight, but then lots of time after that, and then we have some time Friday morning as well. I think I'd have to look at the schedule.
Right? You mean Saturday morning
or Saturday morning?
Be on the podcast on Friday morning.
Sorry.
Bear in mind, you guys, and bear in mind exactly why we were doing this. We were doing this for 2 reasons. We were doing this because Cliff, Bill, and I got together, and we wanted to make you a very big part of our 100th episode because, well, quite frankly, you've been with us for 100 episodes, for Christ's sakes.
I know, it's unbelievable.
And we wanted to thank you guys for that. And
we've been here for.
I would personally really love to meet a lot of you guys. So,
and some of us have been here for 100 episodes.
Like a lot of us don't know you in the flesh, so this is another reason to get together and to still maintain the social distancing and the maximum people and whatever. But we want to meet you. We want to meet the supporters of the Podlie podcast, and we want to thank you, and we want to thank you by making that your hour, not ours, yours. So get on there, baby.
Okay, so Nicole. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Nicole says just working it out with my ride and just wondering what you'd lovelies like to cook. Well, again, I just have to remind you there is no kitchen there other than a microwave. So if it's frozen and it's microwavable, I heard Paul does a mean pizza pop in the microwave.
Damn rights I do, baby. You're damn rights I do. But I do not do it in a friggin' maid outfit, Donna May. Donna May, what the hell?
Donna May. I love it.
However, next, Nicole, you're my new favorite person, Miss Midnight Margaritas.
Look at that. Nicole says Midnight dude.
Bring it on.
Nicole, when I met you in person for the very first time, I thought, hey, I love this woman. And you know what? I wasn't lying. It's true.
Wow.
Bring it on.
Nicole said she can teach us how to make a meal in the microwave in 20 minutes or less.
Jeez, unbelievable. She says, dude, I'm an epicure consultant, and I can teach you how to make a meal in 20 minutes in the microwave. Wow, that's awesome.
Forgo the food, dude. Bring on the margaritas.
Hey, yo, speak for yourself.
A piece of celery in it, and you're ready to go. A little bit
No.
Hey, no.
And I know
food.
Caesar, that's a Caesar. Sorry,
we need food.
I know we've talked about this before in my complete aversion to tequila, but when it's in a margarita, I don't mind
That's
it at all.
different, eh? Okay.
That's different.
Matt,
That's
I can't believe you
marginally
guys
different,
don't like tequila. Sipping tequila is a thing of beauty.
No,
I'm not a tequila fan either. Other
Oh, I
than
love tequila, man.
I do like the strawberry tequilas and stuff, which I know some people don't like. It's a little sweeter and creamy, but a standard tequila, maybe a shot here or there, but it's not something
I love
Hey,
tequila. It doesn't.
Robert,
believe me.
just to answer your question, you're actually even early if our show started at 8:30. However, so Robert, I'm just going to call you early, Robert. And,
hey, Robert,
just completely avoid us for the next 15 minutes. Don't listen.
As I say to everybody from the very beginning of the show, it's about time you showed up.
Yeah, Robert, at 8:30, I'd replay. We have a brand new opening, Robert, which you would have missed if you're here at 8. You missed that, so that won't be replayed at 8:30. But
it's been a few. Robert says it's been a few weeks, and the time changed. Like, you know what, Robert? I don't have to read anymore. I'm with you, my friend. I'm with you 100%.
Dude, the time change was 2 weeks ago when I voted against it. Just saying.
Just saying. Oh, man. Hey, Robert, why don't you drive to Edmonton and come talk with us for an hour, dude?
Yeah.
Right?
And it went silent.
Lloyd is only 2 hours away.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you could come, you could spend an hour with us and go back, and it's still just a 5-hour jaunt.
Easy peasy.
There you go, John Tialowitz, whatever that French thing is. Podlie, what is that French thing? John Tialowitz or something?
Johnny eats Weedo.
Johnny eats
Weetabix or something. I don't know.
Johnny eats Weetabix. Yeah. Hold on. Johnny does eat Weetabix. We like that one. Whoa! Robert says,
that's right. I love feeling regular too. Weetabix, gotta love
Weetabix. There we go. Robert says drive is 5.5 hours. Dude, did you move from Lloyd or what? Oh yeah, he's in Saskatoon. My bad. Never mind. He's in Saskatoon. Never mind.
It's only been 4 years, Cliff.
Yeah. Well, hey, wait a minute. Listen, if you were here early enough, I would have remembered. But since you were not here,
we forgot.
We forgot, right? So
yeah. So hey, we do have a topic for tonight. Just so everybody knows.
Do we actually have a topic?
Yeah.
How long do you think we should stay on it?
I was thinking at least 5 minutes.
At least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that helps. Being that we did have a topic, at least we'll cover it for 5 minutes before we deviate from it.
Deal.
So I put a topic in being now I forgot what it was. No, here it is. What makes a great leader? I was so deviated from the topic.
I'm so confused.
I was trying to unveil it.
This show is so hard.
See what I mean? He's not going to unveil it. He's going to unveil it.
That's what I said. Unveil it. O-N. Veil it. Not on.
That's right. Yeah.
So what makes a great leader?
Let me start, Cliff.
Sorry. You know what? I normally don't have a filter, but I think on the podcast I really should install one. So I'll just be quiet.
Let me start with Donna May's comment. The topic: yes, I'm prepared if the bosses are not bullies. I recommend this book. So she recommends a book. There's a link, guys. Okay.
Okay.
If the bosses are not bullies, I'm just going to throw that out there. That's what Donna May says.
Okay, Donna, can you give us a catalog cut of what that video is? Because we can't tell by the link.
Yeah, we're not going to go into the link, Donna May. Yeah.
Not at this moment.
Not now. Not now. Yeah.
Robert
That's great, Robert.
A true sign of a great leader is totally forget the topic of the meeting.
That's completely right, Robert. Yeah. That's a great leader.
That's a great leader,
Robert. That's why you're here, buddy.
Listen, a great leader always defers to those to whom he leads, right? I mean, really, you defer to them and you take the input. So the fact of the matter is, Bill, you were just waiting for everybody else to chime in. That's what a good leader does.
I deferred the topic.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. After
a great leader speaks up for your team. Absolutely, Jamie. That's 100%.
Yeah. No, that's okay, Robert. I don't mind. I don't mind that comment at all. I deferred it to Paul and Cliff, but neither one of them jumped in.
I know.
If you notice. So there's something, I don't really consider myself a leader. We're a team here. So You know, I'm not saying I'm the leader and they're the followers,
Hey,
but by any
all
means.
three of us don't know what the hell we're doing. So
No kidding.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
probably see that every Monday night.
And
99
you know,
in.
and I know, and the worst part is each of us lead each other into, deferring the topic. Yeah, it's called building on the lack of leadership.
Yeah. What makes great lack of leadership? That should be. Oh, Jordan Ward is here. What, Jordan?
Jordan, dude, where you been, man?
Ernie
Jordan,
White is
brother,
here.
man.
Wow.
And Ernie White, it's about bloody time he showed up. I mean, the man has to get stranded in BC to listen to our podcast. It's crazy.
And Jordan, you do know our podcast starts at 8, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
Hey,
8.
Ernie, are you on BC time or what's the deal, dude? Welcome, time travel. Laura
look at that. Laura just pegged you, Jordan. Laura just pegged you, brother.
How'd it go, Laura?
By the way, we've never confirmed nor denied that yet. You know that, right? Jordan, you have never confirmed nor denied that yet.
Yeah,
Jordan says he's everywhere.
Too busy going back and forth through time.
And hey, by the way, Jordan and Good Improv is going to be guests on our
exactly. So Jordan, dude, what time?
I think they're our first guest at 9 o'clock, if I remember correctly.
Oh, perfect.
Good.
Looking forward to it.
This is really good. You know what? That just means we get the hour off because man, they watch some years.
Oh,
I know both those boys. I've had the distinct pleasure of working with both of them. I love you guys as friends, and man, I love you guys as performers. I can't wait to see you guys on Friday.
Awesome. And Leslie Ann says a good leader inspires ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Leslie Ann, that's a fantastic definition.
That's a great point, Leslie Ann, if they remember the topic.
If they remember.
So let me throw this out to Leslie Ann. Leslie Ann, can you give an example, be it present or past, of a good leader, in whatever political, arts, culture?
Can I answer that question?
No. Wait. Let's first.
Unbelievable.
No, let's hear Leslie Ann first, and then we can confirm it. We can comment. No. I want to hear Leslie Ann's.
Deal.
Waiting.
Cheryl Seltzer, Robert says, love your definition the best. Whose definition? Whose definition, Cheryl?
Yeah, I'm thinking Leslie Ann's definition.
Yeah, I think it's Leslie Ann's.
It could be, but the your is rather ambiguous. And you know what? Clarity is everywhere, but where is the ambiguity? It's right there.
So you know what, guys? I'm just gonna throw this out, guys. Jordan, Leslie Ann, Ernie, Laura, Cheryl, everybody that's on right now. Just give an example of who you think has shown great leadership.
Robert says, okay.
I'm very curious.
I'm always the digressor, or relatively often the digressor. Robert says a good leader wouldn't ask for anything of someone that they themselves would not do. You know, Robert, I partly agree with you, my friend. I partly agree with you, but not wholly, unfortunately. But we can discuss that as time moves on. And Laura says, will the time traveler be revealed on the 100th episode? Stay tuned, LOL. Hint, hint, Jordan. Laura, I like your train of thought, dude.
We'll wait and see.
Yeah. Hey, Laura, somewhere in the blanket, you could hide the identity of the time traveler. I'm not sure what kind of blanket it is, but I mean, I don't know. There's some stitching in there somewhere that gives away the identity of the time traveler, or just the words time traveler. Even that could be something. I don't know.
I got to be honest with you, Laura. I think you know more than we do about this time traveler dude, quite frankly.
I suspect.
That's what I'm thinking. I think she does know quite a bit more than what we do.
So Marvin says best leader today, in my opinion, is Mr. Elon Musk. Who agrees?
Well, that's a good one, Marvin, and I do agree. And there's a lot of people, Elon's one of those leaders that's kind of the 50-50 guy. So 50% of the people love him, 50% of the people absolutely hate him. But I'm on your side. I think he's a great leader for, the areas that he's working in, for sure. With space and, Tesla and that kind of thing. I think
his last volley, so to speak, was awesome. Right?
Mhm.
Because the United Nations comes out and says it would take $6 billion to totally and 100% eliminate poverty. And Elon Musk says, if you show me publicly your accounting, I'll give you $6 billion.
I'll give you $6 billion. Good on him.
Guess what? Crickets, right? Effing crickets, right?
Even nothing has come back.
No, I love it because it's about time somebody called the bluff from these bloody people, right? They just like to yammer on, but they don't seem to ever have data to back things up, right? And honestly, from a citizen like me, I'm sick and tired of it. And all of a sudden, you got a guy in the position of Elon Musk says, I'm going to call you bluff. If you show me your accounting and show me that it can be done, I'll give you your $6 billion. Come on. That's awesome.
Jordan, who is that?
Oh, come on. You haven't heard of Lucius Quinctus Cincinnatus? Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. Great leader. Now I remember.
Oh, Laurie's on. Hi, Laurie.
Hi, Laurie. I call him LQC for short.
I call him
right.
My friend LQC.
And Laurie says, my brother-in-law, Jim Braun, he not only leads, but gives generously to those who step up to the plate. Nice. Cool.
Cheryl says, a great leader provides opportunities for their team to have input, to grow, and to use their personal creativity to better the organization / business.
Sounds like a pretty good definition, Cheryl.
Laurie says, hi, Cliff.
Hello. And as I usually say when I say that, that's what the Englishman said when he came home and found 3 women. And never mind. Hello.
You okay there, Paul?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Speaking of 3 women, I think I had at that time with Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus. I'm actually thinking
LQC. Nice, my good buddy.
Yeah.
He and I are just like this.
I know, right? Right.
He was an ancient Roman leader.
Not to be mistaken for.
Hey, look at this.
Clevelandius. Yeah.
Look at Jordan's comment. He was an ancient Roman leader. I was hanging out with him last week when I traveled through. I read about him.
You friggin' bugger. Jordan, you bugger.
Laura, did you catch that? Unbelievable.
I love you, my brother. I miss you.
Boom, jaga.
Looking forward to having you on for sure.
Yeah, well, Jordan, Jordan, I just want you to know they don't speak for all of us, okay?
Jordan and Daniel, funny friggin' guys, man. They are funny guys.
That's okay, Jordan, because Cliff doesn't like anybody. So he doesn't like Paul and I either, but he does the show.
I do the show, yeah. Actually, it's the other way around, Jordan. It's those 2 that don't like me. That's why they don't answer my questions when I ask them.
What was that?
When did you get here?
What?
What was the question?
What was the question? That's right. And Laura says, I caught it. That's a good Laura. Okay.
Well,
so Bill, this was your topic. And
yeah.
Hold the phone. We got away from.
I've got things on this topic. I have some things on my other monitor here.
Well, exactly. This is what I want to hear because normally the person who brings the topic up is always on the hook to start.
I have some qualities here, so just be patient, Cliff. You were late, so I have this.
Great, dude. He's in a snowstorm.
Way to defer there, Bill. Oh no! Wait a minute.
That's what a good leader does.
That's not deferring. That's deflecting.
You were late to the meeting, Cliff.
Deflecting. So. That's one of our very famous leaders always does that.
So on that note, Cliff, look at the clock because I can't do it until you look at the clock.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the middle of this rather fun podcast.
Bill, I dig the fact that every single time, honest to God, for 99 episodes, every time Cliff does that, his eyes go like, it's very funny. You go past, watch, not even.
Yes.
Every single time, it's great. I love it, buddy. I love it.
He's so excited.
I love it. You are so excited for 8:30, my brother.
I know, right? Oh man.
Yeah, Cliff waits for that for the whole show.
That's right, I do.
All right, I'll get to my qualities of a great leader now.
Yeah,
if that's
good.
Okay. if that's okay with you too, Cliff.
Well, possibly. Okay.
So these are the top 10 qualities of a great leader that were written out. So
top
vision.
10?
Yeah, vision.
Oh, but these are not yours though. These are somebody else's or yours.
No,
oh,
but
you
I
agree
agree
with
with
that.
I agree with a lot
You
of
agree
these.
with
That's
them.
why
Okay,
that's
okay,
why I've got these.
But where did you get it from? No, wait. Where's the reference from? Where'd you get it?
I got it online. I pulled a bunch of points together offline, kind of seeing, and I picked out ones that I agree with.
Ah,
and
cool.
put
Makes
together
sense.
in a list,
Cool.
as a good leader might do. So, can I have quiet in the room, please? I don't have my gavel. So,
Yeah, gavel.
vision, inspiration, strategic and critical thinking, interpersonal communication, authenticity and self-awareness, open-mindedness and creativity. I stumbled on that. Flexibility, responsibility, and dependability.
Cool.
Hmm.
So alcohol doesn't really come into the picture here then?
Well, you know what I was going to say?
No,
not
on that list.
Not one of those mentioned having a threesome with Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatius.
Cincinnati, I know none of them, right? So
Let's be.
what she said? Bill.
Robert says everything on the internet is true. Abe Lincoln.
Are you sure Abe Lincoln said that? Because I could have sworn it was that Lucius guy.
Oh,
That's right.
That's my good Roman buddy, that Roman leader.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm glad that Jordan brought him up, because I had forgotten about that guy until he brought him up. So
Until he brought him up, exactly.
yeah.
What about you, Paulie?
Marvin,
Well,
did I just
okay,
enter a
so-
timeshare meeting?
No. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. I think because of the fact, by virtue of the fact that I don't necessarily follow politics, and I don't necessarily my idea of a really good leader is quite different. So as my name this week is Paul Ellington, quite frankly, I think a really good leader inspires creativity, such as the great band leader Duke Ellington. And creativity and just total left brain. Like, I just love leaders that allow you to think outside the box, quite frankly. That for me is a really good leader. You know what I mean? Because of the arts type that I am, I may not know a lot about politics. I may not know a lot about religion. I may not know about, but man, but my heart is in arts. So a really good leader for me is somebody who inspires kids to think outside the box. Well, not kids, people, to think outside the box and to just reach for the stars, quite frankly. And I like people that really, quite frankly, try and instill a sense of dance while they're dance as though there's no one watching. That's my definition of the greatest leader. To inspire people to think, dance as if there's no one watching. Do you know what I mean? I love leaders like that. I think it's great. Pat yourself on the back, boys and girls, to love yourselves, quite frankly, for who you are. I love it. And I'll say that because I got twin boys. And oh my gosh, they are black and they are white. They are complete opposites, you guys. Complete opposites. But in their own right, man, they're finding their own. They're quite frankly finding their own. And I think they're loving themselves for not only who they are, but who they're meant to be. And I'm trying to inspire their strengths. Han doesn't have a strength in music. Ja does. Ja doesn't have a strength with sports. Han does. Do you know what I mean? So I think you've got to look and you've got to reach those the spark. And I told my kids that. And this is, if you watch the movie Soul, you guys, it's a brilliant movie. I love the movie, animated movie. Soul. What is your spark? What is your spark? And I'm telling my kids, what is your spark? find your spark. And I hope I hope their teachers are sure learning my kids' sparks. Do you know what I mean? Because my kids have very definite sparks. Very definite sparks.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
Ve-
Nicole.
Cliff, I never found mine, brother.
Well, no. I'm not saying you'll find yours. I'll say everybody has them.
Yeah.
That's not to say we'll find them. Yeah. Nicole, I want to thank you very much for that comment. That is so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I think everybody has a spark, Podlie. That doesn't mean it's everybody's going to find it in time to actually use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big deal. That's a very big deal. And I think in part you're right. That's what a leader should do. A leader should be able to actually, and this is actually harkens back to what Leslie Ann was saying. A leader should be able to inspire somebody to do that which was thought to be impossible. And the only way you could do that is to actually find that person and help them find their spark. And when they find that, you cultivate it and nurture it and bring it into existence. And that's what it is.
Look what Marvin just said. Marvin just said it took me 50 years to find my spark. Marvin, man, I'm feeling you, brother.
And that's what I was saying, Podlie. That's what I was saying. We all have a spark. We don't necessarily all find it, or we find it, we're not supported. We don't know that it is that spark. We're not taught that this is something that is unique and should be pursued, because we don't have adults around us that perhaps are able to see that or care enough to actually promote that piece of that spark within us. That's right. And that's what a leader does. Absolutely. And the one thing I'd like to add to these many fantastic definitions of leadership, and one of the things that I see which is missing from all these wonderful comments is one of the greatest things that I find of a leadership, and that is to be able to relinquish the praise and all that sort of things that comes with building a team. You know, I read some time ago. I've led a bunch of teams in my life. I've had the opportunity and the privilege of leading some teams in my life. And one of the things that I've read, and I've always had it at the very top of my mind in every single situation where I've led a team, and that is the quote. I can't remember who said it. I can look it up, but it says that you were a good leader when everybody in your team doesn't believe you were, and yet they succeeded. They take you out of the picture as a leader, even in their success. In their not success, sometimes they remember you, but in their success, they forget about you. That's what a good leader is. A good leader is, by all and every imagination, completely and 100% imbued with humility. So he makes everybody else the top of the priority, and he gets that person to where they're going. And if they don't consider the fact that I wouldn't have got here without Cliff or blah, 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 that's actually a positive sign, because it shows that you did all these things with the humility of a person that does not need the credit.
Cliff totally just imbued with humility, and that just touched my heart, brother. That was beautiful, and I couldn't agree with you more. 100%.
Awesome. Yeah, that really is, in my mind, the pinnacle of all these things that were mentioned. Don't get me wrong, all of these things that were mentioned, but over top of all of that, the guiding principle is the humility, right?
Right.
Jordan, you're a friggin' Jordan, you're a bugger. Go ahead, Bill.
Jordan says, you know who's good at finding their spark? People who spontaneously combust. Yeah, good old. You're getting a taste of what you might hear on Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna rip up the screen on Friday night, you guys.
Hey, Cliff. And I'm gonna throw this out to Marv, because Marv said this too. Does it bug you that you didn't find your spark until later in life?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, what bugs me even more, Podlie, is that I did find it. I just didn't know I'd found it, and this is a resentment I carry with me, and someday I'll let it go. But one of the resentments I carry with me is that the people around me didn't have the heart to, number one, notice, and number two, help me in some way, right? Those who could have, because they could have very easily helped me, right? And it wouldn't have cost them anything. All it would have cost them was a little bit of care. and concern. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all it was. And the adults in my life, any of the adults in my life, and I don't blame my friends because they were my age and just as confused as I am, right? But the adults in my life should have recognized it. And I tell you, Podlie, I'm sorry this sounds so self-congratulatory. I'm sorry, I'm not that type of a person, but I got to tell you this. Because of that, I am always and forever on, and you can ask anybody who knows me, anybody who is in my circle of friends. I'm always on the lookout for what moves children and what excites them and what sparks their interest. And every time I see that, I go out of my way to help them explore that, because I never had that. And I tell you what, it's been a great experience because some people have explored it. And when I watch them and see what they're doing today, and I know I had the tiniest, smallest little piece of the of that process by which they became who they wish they would be. And I think that's fantastic. And if you're out there and if you're an adult, one of the greatest things I would ever ask you to do for children, doesn't matter whose children, doesn't matter, they could be freaking Hitler's children, it doesn't matter whose children they are. If you see some sort of spark of genius in these kids, for heaven's sakes, do everything you can to help them pursue it, because these children are going to be our future. And if you help a child find their spark, live their spark, and actually succeed with that which is whatever is in their soul and heart. I mean, just imagine taking that to the grave with you. It doesn't matter who knows. Nobody has to know.
Cliff, can I bug you for a second? Can I just step on your words here just a second?
Do it.
They don't have to have a spark of genius, Cliff. They have to have a passion. I don't care. I don't care if they my kid. No, legitimately, my kid is every sport that he touches, he seems to be very good at it. He's 9. But it's not only that, he loves it. He loves it. So even a spark of interest, even a spark of passion, I think should be nurtured. You know, the kid could have 3 legs and tripping over himself, for heaven's sakes, but he's got a passion for it. Bloody hell, nurture that, man.
Paulie, dude, I have to take. I'm sorry, I don't 100% agree with you. I just want to catch Cheryl what she asked very quickly, and then I'll get back to that, Paulie, if you don't mind. She says, would you have appreciated as much then as you do now, Cliff? You know what, Cheryl? That's a great question, and the God's honest truth is, yes, I would have, because I was looking for that. I will tell you something on a grander philosophical scale. Those of us who grew up without fathers, and those of us who grew up pretty much by ourselves when we were young, we were always looking for that. All right. And anybody who ever showed any interest in us was appreciated tremendously. So I know what you're saying, Cheryl. In my case, it's true. Paulie, very quickly, my friend, I want to tell you something. There's a thing in our society where I'll just illustrate it. It's faster to explain this way. If a child brings you a little painting and you say, this is fantastic, and put it on the fridge, and a lot of people say, you're going to be this artist, you're going to be great, you're going to be fantastic, blah, 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 blah. And I tell you what, as adults, if we do not see the actual skill and the actual potential there, we should not praise those children to the point where they pursue something they're not going to be good at. We as adults should realistically praise them, absolutely give them all the positive feedback that you could possibly give them, but never lie to them, never send them down the garden path, so to speak. All right? Because I tell you what, the world doesn't give a flying you know what about your children. What the world cares about, and what they themselves, more importantly, care about, is being actually skillful at something. So passion, yes, but passion has to actually meet skill, and skill has to meet passion.
So
that's where success is. That's where success is.
There is a very famous NFL, National Football League, American football player named Adrian Peterson. Now, this was a story about 10 years ago. Adrian Peterson, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's an excellent, excellent player. He did not believe, he was at his kid's football game or track game or whatever. He told his child that he didn't deserve the medal. He didn't work. Wow. He didn't work at it. You didn't practice. You didn't work at it. You don't get the medal. Sorry, my brother.
That's terrible. Natural
you don't
talent
get the
is just
medal.
as good as anything.
You don't get the medal. You did not deserve it. And he was chastised in international news, and it was all over sports news about 10 years ago, you guys. Now, I may or may not have gotten the whole story right, but I got the meat and the potatoes right. Earn the friggin' thing, man. Earn the thing. Now, Cliff, to your point, I get that. You may not have that spark. People may not have that spark. Do you know what I mean?
Paulie, it's more about where passion and skill meet. So if passion is there and skill can be taught, great. If skill is there and passion could be inspired, then great. Right? But it has to come together. You can't take a shitty painting, put it on your fridge, and say you're going to be the next Van Gogh, because you're leading that kid down the wrong path.
No, but Cliff, you got to watch semantics, man. As a parent, you got to watch your semantics.
No, you know what, Paulie, I agree with you 1,000%. But the fact of the matter is, you take all of it as a whole. You take the semantics, you take the encouragement, you take everything. But there's nothing wrong in saying, son, this picture is fantastic at your age. And you know what? You're a beginning artist. My friend, practice some more. Exactly. Right?
You just said it.
Keep working.
Practicing. Keep practicing.
Right.
Keep
I tell you what, Van Gogh didn't paint a masterpiece his first time out.
Okay. Watch the semantics. That's what I'm saying. And
absolutely, Paulie. All I'm saying is
that
we're on the same page. A lot of parents and a lot of people. I mean, it's happening in our school. You can't give a child 0 because you get sued in school, right? It's
what?
But that's infiltrated into our education system. I'm telling you something. It does a child more harm than good to promote something to say that they're going to be the next Van Gogh when they're not. I mean, why don't we observe? You know, it's funny, right? My brother, God rest his soul and bless him. You know, he exposed his children to everything that he could possibly expose them to within his budget and beyond his budget. And I tell you what, you do that to children and they will find that spark. And when they find it, you'll know about it. And when you know about it, it is incumbent upon you. I'll say this as clearly as I can. It is incumbent upon you as an adult within our society to view and find that spark in the children and help them and encourage them. I don't care if you're their parent. I don't care if you're their teacher. I don't care if you're their politician. I don't care who you are. If you're an adult and you see a child who has something to bring into this world, it is incumbent upon you to encourage them. And that is, I cannot stress that enough.
I will tell you guys right now, I have 3 kids and they're still very formative. I don't give a rat's ass, pardon the expression. I don't care what they do. They could be the proverbial starving artist. And if they're happy, I am A-okay, baby. I am A-okay. Now, of course, they got to find shelter. They got to find food. I get that. I get that, right? I get the world's necessities. But man, if they're happy, that's all I friggin' care about, because they are following their passions, and I am A-okay, baby. Like, I agree. I'll support them 500%.
And that's what we did with our 4 kids. So they were encouraged to look at, doing what they wanted to do. We didn't give them, direction and say, you should do this, you should go to college, you should, do this type of job, you should do, whatever. We allowed them to choose their passion and their spark in life. And that's what they're all doing. They got to choose. We were there to obviously answer questions or if ask for direction, encourage and direct if need be. But otherwise they went for it, and they're all 4 successful kids.
Absolutely. And you know what, Bill, that is what parents, that is, as far as I'm concerned, that's what leadership is. And Robert says something interesting there. He says parents make it a habit of chasing their dreams as though it's their children.
So true.
And it's very true, Robert.
Holy shoot, true, right? Robert, so it's true.
So, yeah. I don't know if you want to read any comments going back, Paulie. We normally do.
Yeah, we're all on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, we're all on the same wavelength.
We're all on the same wavelength.
We're all very similar.
Quite frankly. Yeah. It's very funny, you guys. I go to my daughter's dance. Okay, now let me rephrase this. And Bill, you can attest to this. I go to my daughter's Chinese dance class. Now, I'm the whitest mofo Like, I don't know anything. Like, I don't know anything. I don't know. First of all, I don't know nothing about dance. Second of all, I hate dancing. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I don't know nothing about Chinese dance. But nurture your kids, man. Nurture your kids. I don't know nothing about it, but man, my kid, she's 8. She jumps in to her dance class. She jumps into her. She was sick 2 weeks ago. She still went. She still went.
Cool.
So, God love her. God love her. You know, I don't know nothing about it.
So Nicole says the last year through the pandemic, you see that kiddos have turtled where they don't know who they can be beside or healthy and not sick because thank you, COVID. All people, of course. I lost it. Sorry, Nicole. Reading. There it is. She said, so the more you fill their bucket, the more they come out of the shell and the more they become independent, kind, caring, and willing to try more things, do more, be more. Absolutely, Nicole. 100%. Absolutely 100%. So the children, I mean, I know this is such a cliche, but for some odd reason, people don't seem to understand that the children are literally our future. They're the ones that are going to be taking care of us. For heaven's sakes, devote yourself to the children of the world. I don't care if you're their parents or not. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I don't care if you have children or not, man. I don't.
It doesn't matter, right?
Or not. Like,
the fact of the matter is,
like, how did you nurture the kid that came up to your door asking for trick-or-treat candy? How
exactly.
Did you nurture them?
Exactly. And the fact of the matter is, Podlie, is that I don't like a child is a child. It doesn't matter who the parent is. The child is going to be in this world and going to be creating the world around you. You know, I mean, don't you want more Paul Simons of this world? Don't you want more Kennedys of this world? Don't you want more Bill Gateses and Elon Musks and all these wonderful people in this world? We want more of these people. And the only reason we're ever going to have these people is if we as adults see this in the children and help them become that which they wish to become, or that which they don't even know they wish to become, but they're good at, right? It is incumbent upon us as adults. I don't care who the child is. It is incumbent upon us as adults to be able to help and encourage children of every stripe to be able to realize what it is that they're good at. And let's face it, some of us are going to be plumbers and some of us are going to be electricians, but some of us are going to be performers and some of us are going to be, I don't know, presidents and prime ministers. The fact of the matter is we don't know until this child comes of their own. It is incumbent upon adults to help them realize that. That's it. Nothing more.
That's all you need to do. And if they're happy being that plumber and they love it and they're happy being that electrician,
so be it. Right?
Their spark, then that's what they get to. That's what
they. And that brings us right round to the absolute topic, which of course is leadership. That is the leadership that we require in society, not just for children, but for the people in our care. I mean, I don't care if I have a 60-year-old who reports to me as a boss. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's the same function.
You know what I was going to say? When you needed him, have you ever hated your mechanic? Are you kidding? There's no way. There's no way you've hated your mechanic. You've loved your mechanic, right?
Right.
The way I look at it, that's the way I look at it, right? That's the way I look at it. So
yeah, no, for sure. Robert makes a comment: a complete disservice to hold your child back from what they're amazing at, what their passions are. My oldest is in honors with distinction throughout all his high school, wants to get into chemical engineering. I don't understand it, but he wants to do something that will make a difference, and it's what he loves. So who am I to stop him from reaching his goals? That's exactly right, Robert. Yeah, that's exactly right. So
let me ask you guys this, and I asked. Sorry to interrupt, Bill. I asked this on another one of Bill's and my shows, and legitimately, I want some. I'd love some very quick input because we're almost out of time here. My kids are still very young; they're 9 and 8. Do I put them in a bunch of things, or do I put them in one thing? So let's take Han for example. Han is in hockey. Han is only in hockey. Should I put Han in hockey and art and music, or what do I do? What are you guys doing? What did you guys do with your kids? What are you doing with your kids? I'd love to know.
Well, and I think from our point of view, we we didn't push the kids into, again, a lot of activities unless they absolutely wanted to do it. Meet me in the mountains. Yes.
No, I know. Nicole, no, you go ahead, Bill. I'm just answering Nicole's question without saying anything.
But yeah, I think you have to also be careful not to burn the kids out by throwing them into every single activity that they want to do. But, find the ones that they enjoy doing. And they'll tell you, most kids will say, hey, I really don't want to do piano anymore because I would really prefer to be playing hockey. So then concentrate on letting them do hockey and don't do piano.
I agree with Bill and Paul I'm not a parent, all right? And often I get this idea from parents that I shouldn't speak because I'm not a parent. I'm afraid I don't actually agree with that. I'm a human being. I'm a thinker. I'm an adult. I can think of stuff too. So I will tell you this, Paulie, I believe it's one at a time, because until you focus on one thing, you don't know if you're good at it. All right? So as far as I'm concerned, if a child wants to play drums, hey, all out, balls to the wall, let's go play drums and see where it goes. If it doesn't go anywhere, we move on. But you never know. It might stop there and he might go on. One of my favorite drummers on the planet is Steve Gadd. And Steve Gadd, when he was young, he went into the cadet corps and he started playing drums. And his parents say that that's all he ever thought about. That's it. It was it. He was in other stuff, but that's all he ever thought about was drums. Well, guess what? He turned into one of the premier drummers in the entire planet for his generation. And even more than
probably know who Steve Gadd is,
right? Well, okay, one of the premier drummers of his entire generation.
Yeah, right? and Cheryl jumped in here too to say the same kind of thing. We did one at a time with the kids so they could focus on.
Oh, so there you go.
So they got to try it. So that's
there you go. So,
and I have Cheryl and I have a good friend who's a fantastic musician. I've had her perform shows for. She's out of Toronto, and we're good friends with her. And her name is Sarah Smith, and we've had her on Bill and Paul's show. But she was in the military, but her whole thought in the military was being a musician. To at a point when her leader in the military came to her and said, Sarah, this military is not for you. You should go out and be a professional musician. And that's what she did. She followed her passion, and now that's all she does. She's a performer. And she's fantastic.
And you see, Bill, it took somebody with an interest and a recognition. And a recognition and an interest to do that for somebody, right? Do you know it's funny, right? I have pictures when I was 11 years old and 12 years old and 15 years old of me constantly banging on things, like forever, always on the table, always banging on stuff, always jamming, always blah, blah, blah. Not one adult in my entire surroundings said, hey, wait a minute, Cliff, you got a bunch of rhythm, dude. Maybe you ought to be a drummer. Maybe you ought to consider that, right? I mean, just think if somebody did that when I was 15, right? I mean, I could have I could have 40 right now. Dude, I could have 40 years of drumming behind me, right? But no, the only person that noticed that was my mom. And God bless her. She died when I was pretty young, but God bless her. She bought me my first drum set, but I couldn't play because we were in an apartment, so I couldn't play, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact of the matter is, really, it takes somebody to recognize it and have enough sort of interest to be able to entice the child to try it, and one at a time. I just want to read what Leslie Ann says. Leslie Ann says, if a parent has no interest in a field that the child demonstrated skill, then she believes that the parent is responsible to seek out someone to learn from and to help the parent and inspire the child. I agree 100%.
Okay, my point with dancing. Okay.
What I see a lot of times with parents, and I'm sorry about this, but I see it all the time, so it's the truth, is that parents don't take the time to actually get on site with the child and learn why it is that it's so exciting and understand why it is that it's so exciting. That's what it is. If a parent doesn't show an interest and actually take time to actually learn something about this particular activity, the child is going to let it go because it's not important to the parent.
You have to show
Paulie, I just want to tell you something. There's a theory by a gentleman named Charles Cooley. The Charles Cooley theory states that you think of yourself. This is very important, okay? The Charles Cooley theory states that you think of yourself the way the most important person in your life thinks about you.
Say that again.
Okay? The Charles Cooley theory says, it's the triangle theory, that you think of yourself the way the most important person in your life thinks about you.
And I think, Cliff, that's a perfect way to wrap up the show. Right
that
there.
is. And you guys think about that, and we'll discuss it further on the marathon. All right, take that quote and think about it. And I'll do this very quickly.
Continue this on the marathon because
Let's continue it. This is a very interesting topic. Very interesting topic.
Yeah,
you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And I tell you this every Monday, but I'll tell you this even more this Monday. This topic was very important to me, even though I didn't know that it was going to be. But I tell you what, this topic is very important to me and very personal to me. And I appreciate all the time, all the fantastic comments that came in. And I appreciate absolutely all of the engagement. And when I say I appreciate, I speak for both my friends on this screen right now. I promise you that. We appreciate your engagement. We appreciate you coming every Monday. We appreciate you listening to Must Listen Monday. And more than anything at all, we appreciate you showing your friendship and your care and concern and your friendship for us here. And we love you guys. We thank you for showing up. And this podcast would never be the same if it wasn't for each and every single solitary one of you. Thank you so much.
Cliff. We're winding down podcast number 99.
Yahoo!
99.
And you guys share the podcast, bring a couple of people in to watch the marathon with us. Bill, if they didn't listen to it live, my friend,
you have the ability to grab it where all the podcasts are. So Spotify, Google Play, anywhere you get your podcasts, you'll be able to find that audio. And yes, Marvin, we will see you on Friday. Looking forward to having you on and doing a table read with you. So everybody, Friday night, Epi 100, we'll be there. Hopefully you'll be joining us.
I love this episode. I'm going to love the marathon. Thanks, guys. Stay happy.
Right. See you later.